The government partnered with PCN. It was for a particular objective.
So, so
Yeah, we go deeper into our.
Yes, sorry, Lena from CFL.
Yeah.
With the findings.
As you know, couple of months back, the government requested FCCC to conduct this public inquiry, and now the public inquiry is complete, but investigation is still pending in certain areas, and we have a number of findings related to PCN. PCN was one project that the government partnered with an NGO with the view that let's work with the NGO because NGOs come with different perspective, and we thought that by working with an NGO we'll be able to house a number of people who were living in the informal settlement within Jitu estate. But unfortunately, this particular project was the one that we thought if we partner with NGO, things will be done better, failed. We have found that PCN actually did not do the right thing. There has been several abuses in relation to the work they were supposed to do. And in terms of our findings, we have found that there is a governance issue. Financial mismanagement is another area that needs to be looked at. And also, we have found that PCN did not put in the risk management strategies. So based on all these three areas, definitely it's a case where further investigation is required, and FCCC will be undertaking further investigation. They have received more than 370 complaints, and each and every complaint needs to be investigated. If you ask me what were some of the issues that they found during the public inquiry, they found improper record keeping of finances, making unauthorized alteration of receipts, suspicious unexplained transactions or in PCN staff personal accounts, anomalies in processes for issuing offer letters and housing units, and unaudited financial statements. What PCN did as part of the investigation, FCCC is saying, there are people who have moved into Langi Langi House who did not meet the criteria. So how did PCN use the criteria? Because government partnered with them based on the criteria. And one of the criteria was, first of all, provide that house to people who are living in Jitu estate. But we have found cases that people who never lived in Jitu estate, people who are earning a lot more, they can afford to buy properties elsewhere, are now living in Jitu estate and they're owning a unit. So it also requires that at a later stage, eviction notices needs to be given to this particular group who do not qualify to live in Jitu estate. I will stop here. I will ask the CEO of FCCC to explain few things more in detail.
thank you, Madam. The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission has concluded its inquiry into the Langi Langi housing project. This was after a comprehensive 635-page report of issues and findings that was provided to the Ministry of Housing and Community Development. And now FCCC was tasked to undertake a thorough inquiry regarding the dealings of the housing units at Langi Langi housing project. The inquiry was a comprehensive review of the dealings by People's Community Network, the Fijian government, donor agencies, builders, consumers and other related parties. A total of $12.7 million had been provided for the Langi Langi housing project by the Fijian government. However, complaints were received that the lots or the housing units were not delivered as promised. A thorough consultation exercise was conducted in person with the residents of Jitu estate, and numerous issues were raised pertaining to PCN and its conduct. You would remember that on 28th December 2018, the Fijian government actually, after listening to issues highlighted by residents of Jitu estate, called for an independent public inquiry into the matter. FCCC being an independent public body looking after consumer interest, was tasked to undertake the inquiry pursuant to Section 15 and 48 of the Fijian Competition and Consumer Act. Now, FCCC, under the provisions of this Act, may hold inquiries as it considers necessary and is desirable for the discharge of its functions under the FCCC Act. Let me assure everybody that FCCC has not left any stones unturned, even going to the length of sending teams to be based on the ground to undertake surveys and interviews, going house to house collecting information, collecting evidences and complaints. We have also looked at complainants who have walked in through our offices. We opened up different portals for complaints to come in, different platforms. People put in complaints through our website, through Facebook, through calling our phone, and also through various other agencies such as going to the Consumer Council of Fiji, going to the PM's office, and putting in complaints, and quite a few went to Minister directly to lodge complaints. Till date, over 370 complaints have been received, and in the history of FCCC, this is the highest number of complaints pertaining to any single project or any single conduct. This is definitely raises alarm bells and puts up the red flags, and we encourage consumers to come forward, to keep coming forward and highlighting issues should they have any pertaining to the Langi Langi housing project. As Minister had earlier alluded, the conclusion of this inquiry does not mean the cessation of investigation. Rather, FCCC will continue to undertake investigations into direct breaches of consumer protection provisions of the FCCC Act. Our investigation team currently is undertaking caution interviews as well as collecting evidences, reviewing them, and passing it on to our legal team for further action. FCCC has coordinated and sought assistance from the Financial Intelligence Unit and the Fiji Police Fraud Unit as well. Let me assure everybody that FCCC is here to ensure that consumer rights are protected and that absolutely no one can exploit Fijians. This should serve as a stern warning for individuals and entities that are contemplating to take unfair advantage of Fijian consumers. This will not be tolerated. FCCC will find you and take strict enforcement action. The report that we have has found anomalies, as Madam Minister has alluded to, pertaining to governance, risk management and financial issues. FCCC has laid charges on the PCN director for failure to furnish information, and one case was called this morning, the first case that we had filed. As we are undertaking investigations and with the evidences that we are assessing, FCCC is expecting for more charges to be laid soon. Thank you.